Today's video is sponsored by Donna Music, who kindly provided the Arena 2000 multi-effects we're reviewing today. I get to keep the unit, and in return, I'm publishing this video where they're minimal input and helping them in their 10th year anniversary festivities. Stick around to find out how you can win Donna gear. Thank you, Donna, for sending this to me. When it comes to price, portability, utility, and good tone in the multi-effects world, you need to usually choose 2 out of 4. And the units that try to hit all categories usually don't do well overall. I think at under $300, Donna's take on the multi-effects with expression pedal represents excellent value for money because it is hitting all 4 categories. Today, we're exploring why you ought to try an Arena 2000 and why I think this is the king of budget multi-effects. Before we continue, let's set some expectations. If you're expecting this device to give you king of tone level overdrive, have Strymon level delays and reverbs with the switching functionality of a Line 6 Pod Go, you're going to be sorely disappointed. At $300, less than half of what a Pod Go is going for, we are going to have some limitations. For perspective, when I tried finding multi-effects for $300 or less, the results were mixed. You either find those with amp and cap modeling but without an expression pedal, or those with expression pedals but without decent amp and cap modeling. Which brings us to number 1, decent tone. Put into perspective that we should be comparing gear in the wallet-friendly category, the Arena 2000 sounds great. I took this to my church's recent anniversary service, and running it through the front of house and in-ear monitoring rig, my sound team could not tell I wasn't running my usual Line 6 Helix. Continuing on to my favorite feature of this modeler, number 2, size and portability. This unit is tiny. This is the Pod Go. It doesn't fit the mono take, but I can easily pack it into a backpack. This is the Arena 2000. Not only can I pack this into the take, I can pack it into my main gig bag, no problems. And just to drive home the point even further, this is the Arena 2000 beside the Line 6 Helix, which is comically small by comparison. But speaking of small, it's no lightweight when it comes to number 3, utility. To me, a pedal needs to have features that make life easier for me as a player. For example, I need ready access to a tuner because my sanctuary can be very cold and my guitar will get out of tune very quickly as the service goes on. Here's something the $300 modeler can do I wish my $900 HX Stomp could do. Foot switches that have short press and long press functionality. On any of the presets lit up, short press the lit foot switch to access control mode, where you can assign 2 buttons to do anything you want. In my case, it's tap tempo and FX bypass. Long pressing the same foot switch brings up the tuner, which is super convenient. Pedal makers, please take notes. This is how you maximize utility out of your foot switches. I appreciate the input-output options. XLR outputs remove the need for extra DI boxes. The aux-in and headphone jacks are the 1/8 inch size, which remove the need for one of these adapters. Are you encountering a situation where you want to use live amps on stage but want to go direct to the front of house at the same time? No problem, disable cat filtering on the 1/4 inch upwards only. Last but not least, there's touch functionality. Any of these blocks can be bypassed or edited by tapping on the screen above the foot switches. They are sensitive though, so I'd be careful when turning the rotary encoders while tweaking to avoid accidentally tapping other blocks. Oh, and by the way, you can move any of the blocks to any spot in the signal chain just like the Line 6 ecosystem. That's something even some of the expensive modelers can't do. That being said, this pedal is in the budget category and it does have one major technical issue, which is noise from XLR to front of house. At rehearsal, there was an audible hiss coming from my rig. To be clear, no pun intended, the hiss was only discernible without drums and not distractingly loud. In this example, I purposefully cranked the compression in post so that you can hear the hiss. By the way, that's a dripping dope chorus sound. We figured out the cause of the hiss only after practice, and this is one thing you need to look out for if you encounter the same situation. Check if the phantom power is on. At the previous service, someone needed phantom power for DI boxes, but since I was going direct to the front of house, I removed the DI boxes, but the phantom power setting was still set to on. Turning the phantom power off, the sound was vastly improved. I have the same compression settings in this following clip. Much less noise. If you watched this far, I'm about to share with you how you can win Donner gear in their upcoming 10th anniversary contest. Donner would like you to solo over the jam track featured in this video that you can download from their contest link in the description box and pinned comment below. Exact contest details will be there too, so do read them over carefully, but most importantly, have fun with the track. For demonstration purposes, I dialed in the AC15 with a stock 2x12 cab and R121 mic, a deluxe comp pushing the front end pretty hard, a timid drive, an analog delay, and a modulated reverb. In conclusion, can the Donner Arena 2000 P&W? I'm going to say it can. Its Vox-style amp and cab modeling is amazing, where picking lightly gives you clean and digging harder gets you into that chimey roar. The drive options land you anywhere from Planet Shaker's era distortion to current era light boosts and overdrives. Coupled with excellent utility, a control scheme with short and long press options, I think this pedal deserves to be crowned the king of budget modelers. There is a lack of Strymon level delays and reverbs, but that shouldn't be a con against this unit. In fact, I implore you to consider leaving the atmospheric and ethereal sounds to the keys player while you focus on guitar tones. Your sanctuary or auditorium already has natural acoustics, so you technically don't need an always-on reverb, and whatever colored reverb sound you want like shimmer or cloud, your keys player definitely has that in his arsenal. But that's me. How about you? Do you think the Donner Arena 2000 is an excellent pick for budget multi-effects? And was it sufficiently PNW? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to let me know that this content has been useful for you and for YouTube to push it out to more people, because more people need to know that you don't need $1,000 pedal boards to serve in church. If you'd like to see more wallet-friendly options, I have a growing playlist that you can check out thanks to the wonderful companies and retailers I'm partnering with. Click on the next video and I'll see you there.